So I'd just like to talk about my Tibetan meditation practice, talk about how it goes through a typical day, the pitfalls that I run into, and the successes, and then some of the weird things about like how you can be succeeding, but then other people might not like you, but you're still succeeding at the Tibetan meditation, and weird dynamics like that. And things about how how people might criticize Buddhism. Like there are some valid things to consider about maybe if you do the Buddhist practices wrong, some of the negative things that might happen if you do the Buddhist practices incorrectly, especially the Tibetan Tantric practices. So, I mean, there's like misinterpretations of what you're supposed to be focusing on in the Buddhist practices that can happen with practitioners. But overall, I've been thinking a lot about Tibet throughout this workday. I was thinking about Tibet and what it would be like to be a Tibetan, and I was imagining myself like, what if I was in Tibet and things like that, and just like thinking about, just even like thinking about Tibet was like a way of focusing my mind in this kind of a way, and yeah, I'm just realizing also that there's no reason for like all of the suffering that humans experience, like politically, like on a large scale, and then like also people's day-to-day lives and everything. It's like the suffering is avoidable if people would just stop behaving inappropriately, I guess. And so of course that's like myself included, and like everybody has room for improvement, but I'm noticing, it's just such a waste of energy and a waste of human potential for happiness and wellness and enjoyment and thriving. It's like, I know it sounds like I'm not really saying anything, but it's just that like if we implement mindfulness strategies, like waking up early to exercise on a stationary bike before work, or eating a healthier diet, or avoiding alcohol. These are all like steps in the direction of consciousness. And like I think that the actual truth of like what the Dharma is, and what the Dharma really is, and what like all religions are pointing at, but maybe it's like, maybe we it's something like unspeakably amazing, I guess. It's like something like totally outside of what anyone could possibly have thought it was. And it's like, no, I don't know how to say it exactly, but I'm definitely perceiving a certain thing. I guess I just call the Dharma, or like Tibetan meditation. Maybe other people talk about it differently, or have different ways of thinking about it, or they call it God, maybe. I guess I guess what it is, like the Lotus Sutra gives one kind of explanation, and it says that there's like a truth which is like completely, utterly important, and like we're all blind to it and like numb to it, and like it's like super important, but none of us are like perceiving it or like aware of it, and we're all just like sleepwalking. That's kind of what I'm perceiving, and it's like it's really difficult to know how to communicate that kind of a perception, because it is like we're sleepwalking. Like Ukraine and Gaza and Taiwan are examples of like people acting inappropriately and stupidly when they have the potential to implement integral psychology strategies, but they don't do so. And like in my own life, I'm seeing in myself and in others a waste of energy in this way, kind of like it's like we're not seeing the truth of human psychology and physics, which is like it's an accessible truth. We're just not accessing it. And it's like love and joy and happiness and peace. And I guess like, it sounds like I'm not saying anything, or it sounds kind of stupid because it's hard to know how to talk about it or communicate it, but there's definitely like a valid, true perception that I'm experiencing. Like when I do my Tibetan meditation throughout a typical day, there's this like utterly important truth that we're all numb to, and then like I can be a little bit sort of unnumb to it when I do the Tibetan meditation, and then I go back to being like numb to it, I guess, unless I like I'm really focusing more than I have been. So and it's like it's very urgent that we arise from our sleepwalking, because because Putin's going to start nuclear war and civilization will be destroyed if we don't, for one thing, I guess. So yeah, it's hard to know what to do about the realizations from the Tibetan meditation, because humanity is, it's, you know, in a way it's like the conversation I have with myself is more real than the conversation I have with any other human. And it should be that I'm able to communicate with humans. But I guess that is how it is that we can't really necessarily save anyone else unless we save ourselves, and that's all we can really do. Everyone has to sort of save themselves. And so, like in Buddhism, you know, they're always talking about saving all beings. And that's true, but you have to do that through saving yourself, and that's the only way, is through saving yourself, I guess. So I can just vow to follow, I can say, beings are numberless, I vow to save them. Delusions are inexhaustible, I vow to end them. Dharma gates are boundless, I vow to enter them. Buddha's way is unsurpassable, I vow to become it.